Right, let's go. So full past paper drills, right, guys? Using a calculator or otherwise, calculate the value of 1 and 4 over 7 divided by 2 over 3 minus 1 and 5/7. Now, the first thing they said is using a calculator, right? But CXC does still want to see a little working sometimes, so we'll give them what they want to see. They want to see that we worked out this part first. Division before we minus, right? So on your calculator, I want you to put in 1 and 4 over 7 divided by 2/3 and tell me what. All right. So 33 over 14 minus 1 and 5 over 7. Tell me what you're getting there. 9 over 14. Somebody second this. Second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, I got.
Make sure you have it working like this, etc. Right? Let's go. Next question. So it's our 1 mark question. So you're not taking long on this. I give you only 30. Megan started working. She was paid $85 each week. After a 6-month probationary period, her pay was increased by 20%. How much was she paid each week after the increase? Food, right? That 6-month probationary period, that 6 months had nothing to do with the question. All you realize that? It's just a 20% increase, right? Okay, so we increase it by 20%. So it'll be $85 multiplied by, now you can either do multiply by 120% and get the answer one time, or you can do multiply by 20%. Well, again, 20% of 85. 17, right?
Good.
And then after you do this now, you have to, so they ask you what was her pay, right? So her pay after increase would be 85 plus 17, which gives me what? 100. Right. Now, if you did 85 multiplied by 120 over 100, you would have got me answer straight one time, right? And you want to do it correct. 1 mark in the bag.
So I put 120 over 100 and multiply by 85.
And you get the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. So let's go. Next part underneath. C. In 1965, the population of country A was 2,714,000. In 2015, the population was, that is 3,663,900, right? Write the population in 2015 correct to 3 significant figures. So 2015 was actually 3,663,900. So to 3 significant figures, which number here represents the 3rd significant figure? Anybody can tell me? The second 6, right? Everybody agrees? So that's the lockoff. Is the number after the lockoff 5 or greater? No. So we do not add 1 to that 6. For those who don't know what significant figures are, you're counting from the first non-zero number on the left. So you're counting 1, 2, 3, right? So this will be approximately equal to 3, 6, 6. Everything after the lockoff changes to a 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That is to 3 significant figures, right? Write the population in 1965 in standard form. So you have 271400. Now you think about 1 extra 0. You think about standard form, it's like you want to move your decimal point to the right of the first significant figure, right? What is the first significant figure here? 2, right? So my point is understood to be here. Everybody agrees? So we jump in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my point will now be here. So this will be equal to 2.714. Well, you don't need to put these zeros at the end. You don't need to put all these zeros. You can stop at that last digit there. Multiplied by 10 to the power of, how many times did I move my point? 6. When you move your point to the left, the power of 10 will be positive, right? So that there is standard form. 2 marks in the bag. So they said determine the percentage increase in the population from 1965 to 2015. What was the population in 1965 again? It was 27. Come in. 271 000. And what was 2015? 900. All right, good. So go ahead. And those who finish that could start D. All right? Right, you all tell me, right? In order to find the increase, what I need to do? I need to find the increase first, right? Before I can find the percentage increase. So what's the increase? How am I working on that? The increase in population.
It just subtract the year from the year 2015 from
Right, 3663900 minus 2714000 would be equal to what's my population increase?
949,900.
900, right? Everybody good here? So therefore, percentage increase now. Okay? How much did the population go up by? 949. Everybody got this 949,900, right? Over the initial amount. You know what initial means? Initial means the start, the amount at the start. So in 1965, it was 2714000. So the increase over the initial amount multiplied by 100 will give me my percentage increase. How much was it? Will you work it out? Right, I'm not going to say somebody confirm it. 35%. Everybody got that? Everybody got that? All you know how to work it? You divide 949,900 divided by 2,714,000. Right? And then press equal and multiply by 100. Okay? I need you all to confirm you're getting this. Mr. Jivan, you get this? Right. Rolling the train rolling, eh? Alyssa, what's that?
Repeat the last thing.
And I hear you clearly, what's that?
Repeat the last thing you say after you divide you multiply by 100.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Right, let me go. Okay, so the ratio of of teachers to male students to female students in a school is 3 to 17 to 18. So let me ask some questions, right? How many parts in this ratio? Because when I do ratios, how I taught you all ratios is I taught you all it in parts, right? How many parts in that ratio represents the teachers? 3 parts. How many parts represents male students?
7.
How many parts represent female students?
8.
Right. So they came and told us now that the total number of students in the school is 630 in total, right? Determine the number of teachers in the school. So the mission would always be to find out what one part is, right? So how many parts represent the total amount of students?
35 parts.
70. Very good, Antonio, and very good, Leon, right? It's 35 parts. So I'll put total parts for students, right? So this does not include the parts that represent teachers. So it'll be 17 plus 18, which will be 35 parts. So these 35 parts will be equal to what, my children? 630. Now, if 35 parts is 630, and I can find what one part is, let me work. So one part is equal to 630 divided by 35, which is 18?
Yeah.
18, right? So I know what one part is. I can find how much any amount of parts are now, right? So therefore, teachers, which are represented by 3 parts, would be 3 multiplied by 18 to give me
54.
54. Proper thing. Right? So we will get 54 teachers. Right? So that would be the computation and consumer arithmetic question. All right, let me go. Let me do it. It's simple, right? 2 quantities, n and t, are related as follows. They are saying that n is equal to the square root of t. Find the value of n when t is equal to 49. So that means n is equal to the square root of what? What is t?
7.
What is t? 40.
49.
So n is equal to 7.
7.
Right? Now they are saying to make t the subject of the formula. Now, if n is equal to the square root of t, in order to make t the subject, I need to do the opposite of square root on the side. What's the opposite of square root? Squared. Boom, bang. So this will be n squared is equal to t. T is now the subject of the formula. 2 questions in the bag, 2 marks in pause. Ali is X years. Jim is 5 years older than Ali, and Chris is twice as old as Ali. So we related everything to Ali, right? So if Jim is 5 years older than Ali, talk to me. What's the expression for Jim's age? Dog food. More than?
5.
Online, what do you think? 5 plus X. 5 plus X. I like to put the X first. X plus 5. Okay? Jim is 5 years older than Ali. If Ali is 10 and Jim 5 years older than Ali, how much Jim is? 15. So if Ali is X and Jim 5 years older, Jim will be X plus 5. Right? Chris age. If Chris is twice as old as Ali, what will be? Boom. 2X. Dog food. Right? Let's work. Everybody's supposed to have this. Write it down, eh? Because it rolls into the next question. Right, go. I know. Ooh, I gotta cut it. Right, let go. I gotta find it and cut it. Remember the 16 point. Right. In 2 years' time, right? In 2 years, the product of Ali's age and Chris's age will be the same as the square of Jim's present age. Right? So, in 2 years' time, right? In 2 years, okay, Ali will be what? If Ali is X right now, how much years Ali would be? 2X, you sure?
No,
If
sir,
I am
X plus
10 now, in 2 years, I will be 20. X plus 2, excellent. Ali would be X plus 2. Everybody good there? What did they say, Chris also? Right, because it's the product of Ali's age and Chris's age in 2 years, right? So Chris, how much Chris is right now? What's Chris' age right now? Check it in the book. 2X, right? So it'll be 2X, plus 2. Boom, bang. Everybody good there? Chris age, Ali age, right? Now they say the product. What product means? Multiply. Let's go. X plus 2 multiplied by... Right. So it'll be product means to multiply. So it'll be X plus 2 multiplied by 2X plus 2 would be equal to the square of Jim's present age. What does square mean? Square means to the power of... But what's Jim's present age? Somebody tell me. What is Jim's present age? 5? X plus 5. So it'll be X plus 5 squared. Everybody understand the equation? This is real workings here. All right, what part you don't understand? Tell me. The square of Jim's present age. Let me see Jim's present age. Look, Jim's present age is this. The square of Jim's present age. So the product of these two ages would be equal to would be equal to the square of Mr. Jim's present age, which is x plus 5 squared, right? So watch it, is two expansions that are going here. That's all. I'm going to write this over. Let me do them separately because might be a lot of working in one, right? Actually, let's work it. This will be x multiplied by that whole bracket. Everybody agrees? And then 2 multiplied by that whole bracket. Cool? What shall I go and look at? X multiplied by 2x plus 2. I wonder if we could, let's work it one time to save space. All right, watch it. Watch it. I'm going to put it in red. It's going to be x by 2x and then x by 2. Everybody good there? Then it's going to be 2 by 2x and then 2 by 2. Everybody good? So let's take our time. Composure is everything, Chantal, composure. X by 2x as well. X multiplied by 2x, online. 2x squared, boom.
2x squared.
X multiplied by 2.
2x.
Compose yourself. 2 by 2x would be what? Then 2 by 2 would be, right. So I save us a line there. Right? Everybody good there? Now, on this side, I want you to understand that the square here would actually be x plus 5 multiplied by x plus 5. Everybody good there? Same thing applies here. I'm going to put it in red. X by x and x by 5. Everybody good there? Then 5 by x and then 5 by 5. Proper thing. Right? So let go. X by x is plus x by 5 is
5x.
Composure. 5 by x is
5x.
and 5 by 5 is
25.
I can't begin to explain how much your work had to be spaced out and clear. If you try to jumble up everything, it will look like a whole bunch of gibberish, right? So look what's going on out there. You'll realize for what CXC asking for. You'll see they have 0 on the left hand, on the right hand side, which means I have to fling everything on this side. All right? All I want to simplify it first. Let's simplify it first. So it might be a little less to work with, right? So this will be 2x squared. 2x plus 4x is how much x? Plus 4 is equal to x squared plus 10x plus 25. Are you ready to fling? Let me fling. This is plus, right? Plus x squared becomes, right? That going by the x squared here, right? 10x becomes, right? And then 25 plus 25 would become, right? So let me go. Composure. Compose all yourself, Don't start to get frightened. Don't start to bawl and scream and faint, right? We're working. Let me go. Composure. 2x squared then go nowhere. Put back that first. What came to me that 2x squared? Everybody good there? Yeah. That's this x squared, right? Composure. And we had to put back the people 6x. Compose yourself. What coming to me that 6x now? Minus 10x. Boom, bam. Composure. Put back the people 4. Everybody good there? Desha, what coming to me that 4 now? Huh? Minus 25. Excellent. Not plus 25. And what would remain on the right-hand side? 0. Desha, you here? You understanding this? You sure? I find you looking lost. You're lost? No? All right, let's go. Can we simplify? 2x squared minus 1x squared will be how much x squared? 1x squared, dog food. Then 6x minus 10x. Negative 4x, excellent. 4 minus 25. Minus, yes, not plus. Minus 21. All right? And that's what they're looking for. And that's what they're looking for. 3 marks in the bag. Look at it. 3 marks in the bag. Ask your questions because right here in face-to-face, some people looking confused, far less online. No. Calculate Ali's present age, right? So in order to calculate Ali's present age, we have to solve that simultaneously. When you solve, not simultaneously, sorry, you have to solve the quadratic equation. But when you solve that quadratic equation, you would get two answers. The one that is positive would be the correct answer because you cannot have a negative age. Everybody clear? So let me line up the shot. We have x squared minus 4x minus 21 is equal to 0. How do we solve this? Talk to me. Or we can use factorization, right? You're multiplying 1. You multiply 1 by negative 21, and you will get negative 21. That goes on top, right? The number that's in the middle, which is negative 4, comes underneath. Everybody good there so far? If you never saw these things before, you're going to struggle, eh? Because to me, you're looking for two numbers that can multiply to give us negative 21, and the same two numbers must add or subtract to give us negative 4. What those two numbers would be?
7 and 3.
Proper thing, 7 and 3. Which one will be the negative, the 7 or the 3? 7. So because we want to get negative 4, right? So what should I do in the working column here? Negative 7 multiplied by positive 3 would give me, what this will give me? Negative proper. Then negative 7 plus 3 would give me negative 4. And it checks out? Correct. Right? So we go in. I'm just going to attach our x here and our x here. Put in some red lines here. Watch it there. Watch this here. This and this replaces that 4x. That 4x will disappear. Right? So watch it. It will now become 1x squared, which is this x squared, minus 7x, which is this 7x, plus 3x, minus 21 is equal to 0. Everybody good there? Huh? Right? Watch it. X squared. No. It's 4 terms, so we factorize in 2 at a time, right? So x into x squared would leave me with?
X.
X. X into x squared leaves me with x. X into negative 7x leaves me with?
Negative 7.
Bring down the plus. What could go into 3x and 21? What could go into 3x and 21? The HCF. 3.
3.
3 into 3x leaves me with x. 3 into negative 21 leaves me with negative 7. And this will be equal to 0. Right? Question still ain't done. Right? We going down. At this point, these two brackets become 1. So those two brackets become one bracket, and then what is in front of the first bracket, which is x, plus what is in front of the second bracket, 3, is equal to 0. Everybody good there? Complete factorization there, right? But you still have to solve, you have to find the value for x. So you need to solve these two separately, these two brackets. So you'll have x minus 7 is equal to 0. And then you'll have x plus 3 is equal to 0. X will be equal to what here? When you carry minus 7 here, what are you doing with it?
Positive
0
7.
plus 7. X will be equal to 7. When you carry this here, what are you doing with it? Subtract.
Negative 3.
Negative 3, right? So this one here, because it's a negative and you can't have a negative edge, not possible. All right, so therefore, remember Ali's x here, eh? So therefore, Ali age is 7 years. Okay, so I want too easy. The diagram below shows triangle PQR in which QPR is 62 and angle PQR is 90 and PR is 11. PR is what? In a right angle triangle, what would the line PR be called? Hypotenuse. Everybody knew that? Your longest side, your hypotenuse, right? So the three angles of a triangle add up to what, by? So therefore, PRQ would be equal to 180 minus the sum of the other two angles, which is 90 plus 62. What this will be? Once again, 28? 28. Food, June 2021, eh? So they want the length of the side RO, right? I'm scrolling up for you all to see the triangle, right? But they want RO. I'll put a question mark by it. Okay, we found this, that's right. We found this to be 28. Let me write that in. They want RQ here. That's part 2. Part 2, find RQ. Let's make sure it's RQ here. I'll give you all. So we have the trigonometric ratios. Sine of the angle, which we call theta, is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Cos of the angle, theta, right? Theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, and tan of theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. Everybody good there? Right? So for this one up here, we want the opposite. It's opposite to 62, and we have the hypotenuse. The only formula that uses opposite and hypotenuse would be which one? Sine. So let's line it up. Sine of the angle, which is 62, is equal to opposite, which is RQ, over the hypotenuse, which I believe was 11. Right? Everybody good there? How are we solving this way? When you kind of say, what do you do with it?
Multiply.
11 multiplied by sine 62 is equal to RQ. Make sure your calculator is on degrees. Make sure it's in DG or D on top. And tell me what RQ is.
9.7.
9.7 flat. Give it to 2 decimal places.
9.71.
And this is CM. Okay? Right? Huh? Yeah, of course. Okay, so this here is our grid, right? This is our grid. The scale is 1 centimeter to 1 unit on both axes, right? And we have 3 triangles, right? So the left side, the diagram below shows 3 triangles, X, Y, and Z on a square grid. So triangle X is mapped onto Y by a reflection. State the equation of the mirror line, right? X is mapped onto Y by reflection. What looking like is the reflection line there? If it's on top there and it's reflected underneath, what line looking like is the mirror line? The x-axis. But what is the equation of the x-axis? Anybody knows? The equation of the x-axis is exactly what Zaria is saying, right? Y is equal to 0. That is the equation of the x-axis, right? This line here is actually y is equal to 0. So we're going to put the equation the equation of the mirror line would be y is equal to 0. It simply means it's a line that goes through where y is 0. It goes to the point where y is equal to. So this will be my mirror line. So it's actually where this point here is where y is 0. Right here is where y is 0. So it's a line that goes through where y is equal to 0. So that's why we call the x-axis the y is equal to 0 line. Okay? How we know that's the reflection line? What's the distance from the triangle to the line and then the line to the other triangle underneath? And you'll realize the triangle underneath is flipped. It's a flip, aka a reflection. Everybody good there? So we have 4 different transformations, right? We have the reflection or flip, which is what we just looked at. Then we have a slide where it like move across and move down, or you're sliding it, right? If you slide in it, it doesn't change the direction of the object, right? Then we have an enlargement, right? An enlargement could be it's getting bigger or it's getting smaller, right? It's an enlargement, right? Then the last one would be a rotation. Which one of those 4 would be the movement from X to Y? Now the question did not ask us to show how it is a rotation. They just wanted to describe fully the transformation which maps X onto Z. So look at something. This line moved from, this triangle moved from there and rotated to Z. Okay? But we need to figure out where the center of rotation is. The center of rotation would actually be the origin. Okay? It moved from here to here. Okay? Now, if your origin is your center of rotation, right? You see this point here? This point is the same point here. So if I draw a line from this, let me draw it in a different color. If I draw a line from here to here, cool? And then from here to here. Everybody see that? What angle is being formed there? Everybody see that? 90-degree angle. And if this triangle move from here to here, what direction is? Clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Anti-clockwise.
Anti-clockwise, right? So that's some of the things we have to look at, right? You have to know the center of rotation, how much degrees it moving, and what direction. Okay? So let's write out this transformation here. So the transformation, the transformation is a rotation of 90 degrees, a rotation of 90 degrees in an anti-clockwise direction about the origin, which is 0, 0. That's the center of rotation. Okay? How, I'll just say one more thing. Let me just scroll up. How did I know it's 90 degrees? I tracked 2 corresponding points. This point, if I draw a line from here to the center to here, you will see it's 90 degrees, right? So copy this down, and then we go on to these bad boys underneath here. Right. So on the diagram you'll have, we're going to translate y using this vector. Now you see this top number. This is the movement. So this is movement left or right. Okay? If it is negative, you're moving to the left. If it is positive, you're moving to the right. 7 spaces to the left or 7 spaces to the right. And then this would be movement up or down, right? They say to label this new image V. Okay? So we go in 7. If it's negative, we go in 7 to the left. If it's positive 1, take a guess where you're going. You're going up or down? If it's positive 1, up, right? If it's negative, you're going down. So 7 to the, we move in what? We move in wire. 7 to the left. Let's go. So I check in 1 point. 7 to the left. So you can check this point here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Watch it there. 5, 6, 7. And how much up? 1 up. So this point is here. This point is now here. Everybody agrees? No, you could build the whole thing off of this now because watch. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 6 spaces to the left, to the right, sorry. So it'll be, if we have this here, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The next coordinate is here. All right? And watch it. This one is, if we, at this point here, you go 2 centimeters to the left and 2 down. So watch it. 2 and 2. So you know the next coordinate is here. Now you could track every point and go 7 to the left and then 1 up here. Or you could just locate 1 point and build it off that 1 point. So going to draw the triangle now. So boom. Bang. And bang. What is it to label this one? Huh? V. Put it in red. This is V. Everybody good there? Draw that for me, please. Draw it. So on the diagram on page 10, enlarge triangle X about the center C, which is 0, 0, and scale factor a half. Right? Label this image W. Right? So when you say scale factor a half, it means you're actually shrinking it, right? But it is called enlargement still. Right? So we go in. If your center is 0, 0 or the origin, right? What you can do is you can line up corresponding coordinates, right? So this will be here. You draw a line from the center of enlargement to the corresponding points, right? So boom, bang, bang. So let's work with me, right? Now, if we shrink in this triangle, it's actually going to be somewhere down here, right? Now, what's something? If the length of this line, which is from here, I'm going to draw it in green. You all see this line here? You all see that line? What's the length of that line? How much centimeters? 6. So if we enlarge it by half, 1/2, what would be the length of the enlarged version? Or actually the version that is going to shrink? It's going to be half of 6, which is, now where between these lines here, you see that 3 centimeter line. See if you all could locate that. It's clear like this. See if you all see it from here to here. You all see that? From here to here. Okay? I want to draw that in a different color. Let me try orange. From here to here. You all see that? 3 centimeters. Okay? And how, if this perpendicular height here is 2 centimeters, where do you think the perpendicular height of this triangle will be? Half of 2 is? So what's the only logical height of 1 here? You all seen it? So this triangle, for enlargement of a half, will be from here to here, right? And then from here to here. I just call it n small, not n large. Yeah, n small in it. Everybody good there? And what is it to label this? W. W. Give me the diagram, right? I'll go through it together with you all, and then you will try the question underneath, right? Actually, let me send this whole thing down. Right. Right. The diagram below shows two lines, L1. You all seen L1 running this way? And L2. The equation of L1 is x plus 2y is equal to 10. Everybody see that equation? And the line L2 passes through the point 0, -5, and is perpendicular to L1. You all know what the word perpendicular means? Perpendicular. Perpen means forms 90 degrees. Everybody clear there? Okay, perpendicular means it forms, wait, I realize I'm off the screen there, right? That thing shift. Oh. Pull back. Right. So those two lines form 90 degrees, right? So I can put a 90-degree angle here because they're perpendicular. Right? So let me see what the first part of the question asks. They said express the equation of L1 in the form y is equal to mx plus c. For those who can't remember these things, which I'm sure is plenty people, if y is equal to mx plus c, anybody know what m is? Right, m is the gradient. And what's c? And c is the, who remember? Hey, all exam just now, no? The bisector, no? What's c?
Y-intercept.
Very good, Kyle. Y-intercept. Right? It's the y-intercept. Okay? Someone looking like I never see this before, boy. Way. High pressure. Right? I ain't do this topic yet in the Saturday morning class, so let better come in, eh? Right? Okay, so M is the gradient and C is the y-intercept. Your y-intercept is simply where your line is cutting through the y-axis. So for line 1, your y-intercept is actually going to be -5 because it cuts through this point at -5, right? The coordinate is 0, -5. But the point where the line is coming through is going to be -5 on the y-axis, right? So your y-intercept,
Slow on your screen a little bit, yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Right. So the y-intercept would be -5. Everybody good there? So I'll find this kind of RL close there. Y-intercept would be -5, right? Which is C. That's actually C. Now, what is the gradient of L1?
X plus 2, y is equal to 10.
You see this equation, which is x plus 2y is equal to 10? The equation is, let's see why past paper drill is important, right? More than half of this class do coordinate geometry with me already. And nobody can remember it. But we did coordinate geometry when? Probably last year. Probably last year. So you see why past paper drill is important, and you see why I'm actually doing the syllabus with the Saturday morning class. But you know when we start to do past paper drills, probably in what? I might start past paper drills with them in March. You know them going forget everything we do this year. Everything we do this year will be out their brain. That's why past paper drills is very important. So x plus 2y is equal to 10, right? I need to make y the subject here so that I can write this in the form y is equal to mx plus c. So what do I need to do? This is plus x. I need to carry this on this side. What that plus x would become when it goes there? So 2y is equal to negative x plus 10, right? I put the negative x first because we're trying to get it in the form y is equal to mx plus c. This is the form for the equation of a line, right? Form for equation of a line. Everybody good there? Right?
Yes, sir.
Form for the equation of a line. Then I will need to take this 2 and carry it here, and I'm going to divide it by both things on this side one time, right? It's actually going to be y is equal to negative x plus 10 over 2, which means you have to divide it by both 2's, right? So this will be y is equal to negative. Now the coefficient here is actually 1. It's understood. It will be negative 1 over 2x plus 10 divided by 2. 10 divided by 2 is what?
5.
Y is equal to negative a half x plus 5. So therefore, the gradient of L1 is what? Negative a half, right? Because this is in the formula, put this red ink. This is in the form y is equal to mx plus c. M is the number in front of x. Okay? So, y is equal to, I reason this. Let's put this a little closer. Y is equal to mx plus c means that m is equal to negative a half. That's the gradient for L1. So, the gradient of a line perpendicular, which means they form 90 degrees, to L1 is, well, not is, is the negative inverse of the original gradient. What does this mean? It means that the gradient of L2, which is perpendicular to L1, which is also represented by M, right? So I put in common M here again. Okay, I could put a colon here. Put a colon here too. Common M1 would be equal to the negative inverse as you flip it. So negative 1 over 2 becomes negative 2 over 1, and you multiply by negative 1. Flip it and multiply by negative 1. So negative 2 over 1 multiplied by negative 2 over 1 multiplied by negative 1 will actually tell me that the gradient of L2 is positive 2. Everybody with me there so far? So you'll realize I actually had to teach all some of these things, because I realize in playing people don't know it, right? So that will take us a little longer. So I don't see we won't get beyond 4 today, because for the other parts I'll have to teach you all it. So the gradient of a line perpendicular to L1 is the negative inverse of the original gradient, which means you need to flip the original gradient, multiply by negative 1. So I have here for L2, my gradient is 2. L1, the gradient was negative a half. Gradient is how steep the line is, eh? Okay? Because I hear all I hear in my belt, you know, this word. right? So gradient means steepness, right? Hey, but this laptop, like in the evening, it does get, yeah, there's start a lag. I just started take it off like in between classes. Means, right? Gradient means steepness, right? Of the line. Okay? So we have the gradient of L2 and we also have the y-intercept, which is C. Okay, so we have C, which is C is equal to -5. We don't establish that. So can we write it in this form? Y is equal to mx plus C. This is how it looks. So y is equal to mx plus C, which is the form for the equation of a line, right? Would be y is equal to 2x. C is -5. So you're going to put -5. Okay, this is the equation of L1. Right? So this is the equation of L1. Let me write it in red. Okay, this is the equation of L1. Everybody good there? All right. Okay, guys, this is the answer here for part 1. This was the answer. Let me just show you all this. This was the answer for part 1, and this is actually the answer for part 2. Part 2 starts here. Okay? This was the answer for 1, and this was the answer for part 2. This is the equation of L1. No, they want the gradient of L1. So you didn't have to write this. Let me move it. I went a little too far. Okay? They just wanted the gradient of L1, which is just 2. Okay? So let go. Write down. I go back up here. I want you all to write all this, all the little notes I put on it. Yeah, first I coded to do those things. What's something? This is all the answers. The question actually done here. Yeah? That's all. Yeah. No, I want the recording to catch it. Watch it. So this was part 2 and this is part 3 here. Right? This was part 3. The equation of L1. Watch it. The equation of L2, sorry. And then you have some functions on here. So I did all parts one time. Part 1, 2, and 3. So let me go. We go back up. Okay. So f of x is equal to 1/3 x plus 4. G of x is equal to 3x over x plus 1. Find the value of f of 9. Food, right? We'll do it one time because of time constraints, right? So f of 9 would be equal to, what by this thing lagging? F of 9 would be equal to 1/3. So the input here is 9. So I'm replacing x with 9 plus 4. 1/3 multiplied by 9 will give me what? 1/3 of 9.
2.
3. Excellent. 3 plus 4 would give me 7. So f of 9 would be equal to 7. Now they want us to find the value of fg of -3. So the best move to make here is to find g of -3 first, right? G of -3 will be equal to 3 by -3 all over -3 plus 1, right? So 3 by -3 will give me what? -9 over -3 plus 1 will give me -2. When we reduce this, what you'll get, you'll get a mixed number. But let's leave it like this, right? G of negative 3 will be equal to, the most you could say is a negative divided by negative is a positive. So that's be 9 over 2, right? Now, points to note, right? Fg of negative 3 is actually the same as finding f of whatever we found g of negative 3 to be. What g of negative 3 is equal to? 9 over 2, right? So f of 9 over 2 is what we're really trying to find now. Okay? So what is f of x? 1/3 x plus 4. So instead of putting x, we're going to put 9 over 2. So it's going to be 1/3 of 9 over 2. 9 over 2, not 9. 1/3 of 9 over 2 plus 4. Work that out for me. Wait again. 11 over 2. Somebody second, third, and fourth that.
Sir,
So this will be
11
f.
over 2.
That's like it's Sarah.
Yes, sir, I got that as well.
Right. So this is fg of negative 3. Right? It's going to be 11 over 2. Right? And the last question for today, they want us to determine the value of x for which g of x is equal to 5 over 2. Now, I know g of x is equal to 3x over x plus 1. Right? They also said g of x is equal to 5 over 2. Everybody good there? So we can equate these things, right? So therefore, 3x over x plus 1 is equal to 5 over 2. Everybody good there? Right? You know what we could actually do here? We could cross multiply. You could take this x plus 1, carry it on this side, and multiply it. Then you can take this 2, carry it on this side, and multiply it. It's like a cross multiplying, right? So this is how it's going to look. It's going to be 3x by 2. Everybody good there? Is equal to 5, because 5 is here, by x plus 1. Everybody good there? We must get rid of these brackets, simplify, and solve. All right? So this will be 3x by 2 is what?
6x.
6x. Then this 5 needs to be multiplied by both x and 1. So this will be 5x plus 5. Everybody agrees? This 5x needs to go here. So plus 5x would become minus 5x is equal to 5. 6x minus 5x is just x. So x would be equal to 5. That's the value of x for which g of x is equal to 5 over 2. So you all realize we got 4 questions done here today. Tomorrow in class from 12 to 2, I started our next past paper. I'm not going to do the rest of this, right? What we'll do is next weekend, we'll come and start from 4 in this paper. I'll even this as Saturday work, right? For the children, especially for the children who not coming to the 2 classes. Okay? So I'm going to send this in the group along with the clean sheet, along with the record.